Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee with Carlson. We took a little bit of a hiatus for the month of January, maybe part of February, for the month of January, maybe part of December, but we're back, excited, glad to be here. This is season 3. We started this podcast with our very first guest, Dr. Dennis Bassetti. My good buddy came over to the house last night. We love you guys. Thank you for coming. We had a really enjoyable time. Was my first guest on the show talking about the coronavirus in May of 2020. I can't believe we're still talking about it now, but thank you for helping me kick off that show. And we're back again, reinvigorated, ready for a crazy tax season, ready to help serve you, ready to give you some tips and tricks. You can see the beard's gone too. What do you think? Get some feedback. I shaved my hair too, cut it real short. It was super long. I let it grow until we got back from holiday vacation over Christmas break and decided it's time to take the buzzer to it. My good buddy Keith Ruley has been cutting my hair since I was 15, did that for me. Thanks, man. I love you. If you're having a nice warm cup of strangely warm coffee, don't forget to always do that. I ran out the other day, which meant I had to come to the office extra early just so I could get some. Jessica has one of those Nespresso things now, so one of her Christmas presents. So she likes to make fancy coffee filled with all kinds of things, and I just want dark roast ground strangely warmed coffee in my cup. That's what works for me. I hope it works for you too. Brewed, packaged, shipped from right here in downtown Sebring, Florida. So I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about intake procedures, things to look out for during this tax season, things that you need to think about no matter how or who you get your tax return done by. A few tips and tricks. There's always crazy things that have been going on the last few years, but this year is going to be, I think, nuts for a lot of people. So let's jump right in. I'm going to tell you a few of the things you need to look out for. First, if you need to see us, you can call right away, get an appointment. Schedule's filling up quick. Our number is 863-382-4141, or you can schedule an appointment for me right on our webpage at carlsonaccounting.com. Just click on the button that says appointments and pick a time that works best for you. We are available virtual, by phone, and certainly in the office. We'd love for you to come by and see us and hang out with us for a little bit and talk about taxes. All right, so what's new things that you need to look out for this year? Obviously, there's the normal stuff. Watch out for your W-2s, 1099s, any business expenses you had last year. If you had those, make sure that you look for your investment statements, brokerage statements. Don't forget, it's very important to look and disclose to your tax preparer if you are invested in crypto assets. The rules on that are going to change from a reporting standpoint in 2023, from reporting from the people that the company that you're buying and selling crypto through. They're going to have to report that information to you in 2023, but you're still required to report it now. So if you own crypto assets, one box you need to check, let us know that you have it, and bring those statements in as well, because you have to disclose those. I'm going to tell you that you have to disclose them even if they're somewhere else. And if you want to know why, the Biden administration's infrastructure bill that passed in November of last year included a little provision to help pay for all the infrastructure. And that provision was $28 billion over 10 years from increased enforcement of cryptocurrency transactions. So be on the lookout for that. They're going to be looking really hard into that. And they say they're going to go gangbusters and spend a lot of money and ramp up their enforcement of it. So if you have it, start reporting it now so you don't get in trouble later. A couple other things that you're going to get, you should be getting them now. If you, I cut my finger on something that hurts. I must have just done that. Couple other things to look out for in this year. If you are getting an identity protection PIN number from the Internal Revenue Service, that document is very important. They don't look very important when they come in the mail, but very important. I think I got mine in December, November, December, but certainly by now you should have that. Make sure you set that aside with your other important tax documents, because you'll need it if you file yourself, or your tax preparer will need it if they're going to be filing it for you. Stimulus money, we're still talking about this. There were 3 stimulus payments that were sent out. Stimulus 1 was sent out in March, April of 2020. Stimulus 2 was sent out around January of 2021. Both of those affected your 2020 tax return. We talked about them in this same exact segment last year. We do this intake tax season procedure every year. And stimulus number 3 was in March, April of 2021, and that has to be reported on your 2021 tax return. You I have not seen anyone get a reporting statement on that yet. So go back to your bank statements and make sure you look for them. They were tagged as EIP1, EIP2, and EIP3. For 2021 tax year, we're looking for EIP3, which was $1,400 per person, and it was March, April of 2021. So go confirm with your bank statement that you got that. Had my very first tax return that I did this year. One of my close friends, she and I talked about it. We called the husband, thought they didn't get it. We finally said, let's just bring the bank statements in and go through them. Sure enough, I found all three of them on the bank statements. So it's very important because that'll cause a holdup in any refund you might get. It will overstate the refund or understate the refund that you should get. And it could hold up the whole tax return for an unknown period of time as the IRS tries to work through that. So it's very important to make sure that you confirm that number before you come in for your tax return appointment or turn over your documents for your tax return. The next one, and I think this is the one that's going to cause the most trouble in 2021 tax filing season, is the child tax credit that was given in advance. Advanced child tax credit. It's very, very important that you had an election when they sent you a letter in July. This started in July of last year, asking you if you wanted to receive it in advance. You could say yes or no. If you did nothing, then you received it automatically. That credit is an advance of a credit that you would normally claim on your income tax return. So if you got that money in advance, it's going to reduce your refund for 2021. You are, and I have been seeing these, getting a reporting statement from the Internal Revenue Service with that number on it. Make sure you save that document, set it aside with your other important tax documents, because it's very important to make sure that that reconciles and that you get the right number listed down on the return. I think it's going to be a big shock for everyone thinking that it was some sort of secondary or fourth stimulus payment, but it's really not. It's an advance of a credit that you already received in prior years. It just got reported on your tax return. Now, that won't affect 2022, at least as of right now, but make sure you save that statement. If you don't get the statement for some reason, please go back to your bank statements from, I would start in June to December, and just look for those payments from the Internal Revenue Service and see if you got them so that you can give the total to your tax preparer, hopefully me, and we can reconcile it on your tax return for this year. Again, I think it's going to, I did a show on it last year. I think it's going to create a lot of confusion and a lot of issues for people as we move into this tax season. All right, I think that kind of covers some of the big things that we've seen so far this tax season. Make sure you look out for those documents and make sure you get them for your return. Don't forget to start every morning with a strangely warm cup of coffee. And of course, every Monday morning, join us on Coffee with Carlson. Make sure you go to our YouTube page and subscribe. We'll have a link in the description below on Facebook. We doubled our subscribers since last year, so we're really excited about that. The numbers aren't getting super big because we're really here for our customers, but we hope that you like and share, subscribe. Make sure you send it out to all your friends so that they hop on. And please, please always let me know if there's a topic that you think is important or that you are interested in. And sometimes maybe we'll save them up and do a couple topics at one time. But please let me know. Shoot me an email, put something in the comments, and we'll do a show on that issue later. So I hope you have a fantastic day. As always, if you need to get in touch with us, 863-382-4141, or you can reach us on the web at carlsonaccounting.com. Thank you for joining me on Coffee with Carlson. We'll see you next week and every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on Coffee with Carlson. Have a great morning.